People of class, welcome to today's new review of the Promised Jedi that took command of the previous clones I have reviewed or have at least fought with them in a battle or two. Today I'm going to be reviewing Eeth Koth, Barriss Offee, Luminara Unduli, Kotti Mundi, and Sakira. Sorry if I butchered their names, I literally had to look them up before I did this because, as you know, I'm a bigger fan of the clones than the Jedi. I second the Order 66 thing, but that's so personal. So to start off, before I get too deep into this and show it with every figure, I do not have their original lightsabers, but luckily, as I will show with Eeth Koth first, they are all the same lightsaber, other than Kotti Mundi and Sakira's being a blue blade, which I will get into later. To start off the review with one of my most interesting Jedi is Eeth Koth, and that name is a freaking tongue twister. I love the head design, I love the robe, I love just the simplicity, but also just intricacy of him. I gotta say that, especially the face detail, even though his eyes look a little crooked, it is amazing. Now, one thing I do have to say is that the previous owner did get him to me a little tilted. I do not know why. He is just unable to stand up straight, and you can even see it here. I don't know how to fix it. Other than that, what I was talking about with the lightsabers is that all the basic Jedi lightsabers have the few rings on top and then maybe a different base or a black line at the top of the ring, or maybe a black handle. So luckily, because I just had a few spared lightsabers in the bag, I was able to give these guys each their somewhat proper lightsaber. So starting off with the articulation of them all, I'm gonna leave the lightsaber in just because it makes it not a hassle to have to figure out how to put it back in. The head with the hair pieces is a little tricky. Main reason I say that is just for longevity of the hairpiece. So he can look side to side, but no real up and down. I mean, he can nod, but if you look side to side, just know that you are twisting the hair strands, so that can cause long-lasting damage if you're not careful. For the shoulder, he can do a full 360 without a problem, and he can raise it pretty dang high. I like that. For the elbow, it is a big joint, so he can get a little more than 90. He can pretty much block in this pose. And also, I do want to go over the nice unscathed, undamaged detail in his gauntlet. That is awesome. For his wrists, he just has rotation. No up and down swivel, no pivot, no nothing special. For his legs, he does have kind of interesting ones, but I mean, they're basic. So he can go up pretty nicely, can go back very nicely. He has a single knee bend that goes 90, which is pretty dang great, and no ankle or let's say shin rotation. This is just one flat piece. So if you're fine with that, I would recommend picking him up, or if you just want him to have him, pick him up. And he does have a nice swivel, no hindrances there. But going up with the skirt, not a problem at all. Going back with the skirt, not a problem either. Both move them together, he just kind of flashes you a little bit. Now for Barriss Offee, the main reason why I chose to do her nets is mainly because this isn't the animated style of Barriss Offee. This is more of the realistic one that, from what I saw, came out when some of the Star Wars comic books were coming out, like the Boba Fett Bounty Hunter series. That's the one where I saw this one most prevalent. Do I know if there's a Clone Wars accurate one? I don't know, but I'll show it if there is. One thing I have to say though is, just because it's realistic, she looks gorgeous. I love the design on her face. It is very nice. I love the small little, I don't know what to call them, but let's just say shapes on her face. Her eyes look great, the lipstick, the eyebrows. I kind of wish that she had some hair, but that might have interfered with the hood. Even the hood, man, just this figure, especially with the fabric lines on the actual clothes, is amazing. Especially the ruffles up top, all the small little details, man, this is just stunning. She is definitely one of my favorite realistic characters, but not animation characters. But I'll show you the ones I do later. So getting into articulation, does she have a lot? No, and that's mainly because of the way that the hood and the cloak is structured around her. So you can get a tad bit of movement with the cloak. Most of it is going to come from actually just moving the head side to side, which still isn't a lot, but depending on the pose, you can get some nice poses with her. With the shoulder, can you go up that far? I mean, if you push it and work with the cape, then yes, you can get up to 90. The elbow, just like Eeth Koth, you can bring it forward enough to block it. Ooh, look at that handy. That is nice. Then going to the ab, there isn't really a lot. How the hips run in with the cloth, but it's not the biggest deal or deal breaker. The skirt is also cotton, so this is very nice. Is very soft. Going up the skirt, I'm not trying to do anything bad, so don't you dare say I'm trying to look up her skirt or whatever. She can't really move her legs up. I don't know why. There is space and articulation for her to. Actually, she can. Never mind. It was just tight. But she can move it up pretty nicely, and she does have a knee band, oh my gosh, she has the best knee band in my whole collection, dude. Wow, that is actually stunning. I didn't know that she can move like that. Okay, now why didn't they do this with other figures? But fine. Then she does have ankle, ooh, that stressed me out. But she does she does have ankle up and down. There isn't really any other articulation. If there was, the cloak unfortunately stops it. Again, as I was saying with the lightsabers before, they are standard. So as long as you have this in blue or green, you have a lightsaber for all your Jedi. Now to get into her Clone Wars accurate Master Luminara Unduli, I have to say that when I first got her, she was the most beautiful one in my collection. Yes, the realistic one is, but she is for realistic purposes. She is just because of the nice cloak, the nice face detail, the nice clothing, and then the golden detail on here. Also the kind of see-through like mesh cotton. I love that. The only bad part is that, as you can see, it is starting to fray at the end, so I tend to just keep her somewhere and not touch her at all because I don't want this to become undone. I don't have the skills to replace it or fix it, let's say. Looking at the back, it is standard, but I love the folds. These folds are very, very nicely detailed. Then we also have a necklace on the chest. There is some nice division between patterns on the clothes, and then, like I was saying before, gold on the arms. There is none on the legs, but I'm fine with that. They don't really need to be there. Now for the articulation, you can get a full 360 without a problem. Head can go down more than up just because of the back hair dress. The arms, they are small and fragile, so do be careful. Some of these are a little bit different than others. She can go up pretty nicely. She can go around, just work with the tip of the cloak here. The elbow is very, very nice. Very soft, very easily malleable, so no problems there. And she doesn't have a wrist rotation, but a forearm rotation, so she can get it far enough in front of her to where she can block. And she does hold on to the lightsaber, but she doesn't hold on to it to where it won't twist in her hand, so do be careful of that. For the ab rotation or ab movement, she just has rotation, no real up and down or anything crazy. For the legs, she can bring them up pretty nicely, and then going back, that's insane. She can really, really bring it back. For the knees, she can do 90, amazing 90, no complaints there. Then she does have a forward and back ankle rock, but this one is tight, so I will not do that here. Now for the guy with the stance, I can go from here all the way to Mississippi, and the head that can reach the heavens. It's Kotti Mundi. So this is another second-hand figure that I got. The face is a little messed up. There are a couple other problems with this, but I mean, it's kind of more just dust. I think I need to dust off and other stuff, so I'll claim it as mine. Other than that, if you want a more accurate version, either learn how to paint it yourself and get yours, or just like all the other clones, all the other Jedi, really look at the photo. Don't just buy it because you want it in your collection. Now the one big problem I have with this, as you can see, the legs are spread out. I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be here, but I don't know, maybe the previous guy put it on one of those Star Wars stands where the pads are like at the ends of the boards, and then it just warped the plastic. So he does have nice detail all throughout the body, nice ruffles in the clothes, nice details, nice bendings, nice folds, and then a cloth front, which I love. I love cloth skirts just because it doesn't limit posability and it just adds to it. For the posability, shockingly and not shockingly, can you look up? Nah. Can you look down? No. But he does have a interesting head rotation. For the shoulders, you can get up nicely. no complaints there. Work with the clothes and he can do a full 360. Elbow, he can get amazing 90. It really, especially with the bulky forearm and bulky elbow, he does look really nice. And yes, he does have special hands, where this one is more of a like Obi-Wan Kenobi pose. I don't know. I know there's a name for it, but I'm sorry, I'm not that Star Wars fan. He has wrist rotation, no up and down, no nothing special, but he does have that. For the ab rotation, he can do a full swivel. Mine is a little tight, so be cautious of yours. If it is tight, please do not push it past its limit. Going up, he can go up without a problem. Going back, he can't really, but he can pose for a nice kick. Knee bend is, wow, goes further than 90. Ooh, look at that side detail. But there is no ankle or shin rotation, so you will have to work with the knee or just work with getting him into a specific pose or 2 or 3 or however many you can manage to get him in. And last but not least, we got Ayla Sakira. The main reason I did her last is just because she comes with the most out of all of them. She comes with an amazing clone jetpack, a harness to hold the jetpack, a rebreather, and then goggles. Actually, I think this is her original lightsaber from packaging, but even if not, just like I said with the other one, you have rings at the top and then a blue blade, you got her lightsaber. Now, for looking at the details of what she comes with, it is nice. Especially, I can't describe just how pleased I am with the paint. It is very basic, but the molding, the everything looks gorgeous. I especially love the up front, and I love that, I mean, I don't like on all the figures, but they add something to where it's like he or she might be scuba diving or doing something in space. It's cool. Do I really want it or like it? Unfortunately not, but I get some people do. And also just sometimes it can look nice in the collection. Now for what she looks like without it, I have to say it's amazing. And one feature that I absolutely love is that the holes on the side of here peg into her ears. I love that detail, that they don't just add a random protrusion to make her look ugly, but they try to keep her as basic and accurate as possible, and I love it. Now looking at her more closely, I didn't notice that there were nice little speckles on her headpiece, and the carving actually digs into it a little bit, and I love that. The other thing I don't really like about the animation model is just her waist. I don't like how it goes out that far, and then I know this is probably just a toy, but the elbows and the shoulders are really bulky. But other than that, I love the detail, I love how accurate and how close they got with it. So those are my only gripes with her. Now for the articulation, she has the ability to do stuff. She can look down, she can mostly just look straight when she goes up. The arms do a full 360 without a problem, I'll leave that out. And then my shoulders are tight, but she does go up more. Just know that she goes up more, I'm not going to push it. The elbow is nice. Again, mine is tight, so I'm being a little bit careful. She gets less than 90, but enough to make a blocking pose. Wrist does rotate. Same articulation on the other side, especially with the rotating wrist. With the abs, she kind of has 2 sections, but not really. So it's just one. It's more of her torso or under her rib cage. You can get a nice 360 without a problem. Going up, she can't go up that far, but she can kind of kick you if you're on the ground. Going back, not a problem. Her knees are, because she's such a small frame, they get 90. Very nice 90. And then she does have a nice ankle rotation with those heels and a ankle tilt and bend. But I won't go too far because of course it is tight. And that's gonna be it for today's video. I do have to say again, as I will say in every review, look at closer pictures of the figures or request pictures, close-ups of them, because I really don't want you guys to have the problems where I do of this guy leaning, Kotti Mundi having obvious not been taken care of by a previous owner, and then some other problems I had with other figures. So I want you guys just to get the best for what you pay for. Other than that, I do have to say that I'm happy to have all these guys and girls in my collection, and I have their clone counterparts as well. Next up, I'll be doing some more Green Boys and maybe another Jedi or 2, just because it works, hint hint, and I will update you guys on what video I will do next after that. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a nice day. God bless, and see you next time. Peace.